Hi everyone, welcome to A Conscious Time. Welcome to this channel where we chat about all things navigating this world through the eyes of awareness, where we bridge spirituality and pragmatism in this world that we find ourselves. Essentially, this world is spirit manifested. So the topic is give thanks for your suffering. So this was sparked not too long ago by a situation in my life that I found myself getting triggered. Seems to be the buzzword of today, and this actually led me to some of back to Gabor Mate's lectures and that. So I'll put a link in the description where you can see some of his work and some very interesting insights and lessons there for triggering and going back to trauma, etc. But without further ado, let's just jump into this quick video. Hopefully it adds a lot of value and insight into anyone that is out there that is currently suffering, has suffered, and how to deal with suffering that will come in the future. Pain and suffering could be something that's quite small, or it could be quite massive suffering. So have you ever found yourself in that situation where it's almost unbearable? You just want that situation to be over, and again, it could be a small situation, a big situation. And I found myself in a situation where I got triggered through various variables that had led to a very uncomfortable time period in my life, but luckily through insight and awareness, I was able to navigate this situation through just understanding and insight and lessons learned and implemented along the way. And pain and suffering will get less and less as time goes on, but this is only if you are conscious and aware. And I remember years ago, it was by Eckhart Tolle. The phrase was something about conscious suffering, and I fully understand what that means, where we probably will never be void of some sort of pain or suffering. Having said that, paradoxically, if you embrace that you will or expect that you might have pain and suffering, that pain and suffering ultimately and paradoxically will become less. Anyway, the point is, if you are not conscious and aware and pain and suffering comes along, then you start blaming the outside world and you don't actually see what you are contributing to either the situation or whatever the case may be. And I don't claim to know all the answers or have all the answers for each scenario of pain and suffering. Some people are obviously suffering massively, some on a less scale, etc., etc. So from a higher level, a higher spiritual level, and this is meant to be an empowering statement, that pain and suffering is essentially caused by you in a way. It actually is caused by you in a very high spiritual level, because it's learning. Pain is actually learning. Suffering is actually learning. So that's a very high spiritual level. From a very pragmatic level, you need to look at what you have contributed to create that pain and suffering. All right. So again, I don't claim to answer all the questions or scenarios on massive pain and suffering. That's not the point. But the main point of this video is to embrace the next time that you have suffering and actually sit in that consciously and aware and say, how did I get here? What can I learn from that? And you'll find the transition will be quicker, and you will have learned and grown even more. So you will not have, again, there will probably be some sort of pain and suffering in your life as you grow, but it'll probably become less and less as you spiritually grow and you grow mature in a sense, or in some sort of matureness, or in maturity in a pragmatic level. It's kind of like stumping your toe or banging your head. If you carry on banging your head, stubbing your toe, then you are obviously not learning the lesson. And it's the same for your growth in this world and in spiritual world. If you continuously find yourselves in a similar situation, then you essentially are not learning, and you're always learning at some degree, but you're not learning as fast, if you can say, as fast as you can, because you're not becoming aware of what you are creating. You are giving away your power to the outside world, which I've spoken about before, and you're not taking accountability and and that creative power to go, okay, wait a minute, what is the world reflecting to me that I am creating for that pain and suffering? So, and again, going back to maybe one or two of my videos before and A Course in Miracles, pain and suffering is ultimately an illusion. It's egoic based, which is, fear is an illusion. And the ego is a very small part. It's a minuscule part that is fighting to survive. It's the false, illusory thought pattern that is, oh, woe is me type thing. And it's focusing their attention on, me, myself, and I, as opposed to, giving that creative power back to source, which you are part of, and knowing that you are whole and perfect as God created you. So essentially, on the highest level, there is no pain and suffering at all. But bring it back to a pragmatic, worldly view. What can we learn from that, and embrace that pain and suffering? Give thanks for the next time that you find yourself in that suffering. Give thanks for that suffering. It's super hard depending on the severity of it, because sometimes you just want to run and flee, and you just want to get out of it. But sit in that space, honor that space, and say, okay, what have I created? What can I learn from this? And you will grow from that. So that situation won't necessarily come around again, and you will be the after effect of that through conscious suffering is the most beautiful feeling, coming through that and having learned that and looking back on that growth. It's like building muscles. If you want to get bigger muscles, it's pain that comes along and breaks down the muscles, but from that you get bigger. So I hope I've nailed all the points there. Give thanks for your suffering, and you don't have to suffer, but if you are conscious and aware, you can transition through that, and you can negate future pain and suffering once you are conscious and aware. So I hope that adds massive value. Have a good day. Give thanks for your suffering. And like and subscribe, share. Obviously trying to grow this channel, and a little bit more time, I'll be able to put a little bit more energy into it and put some videos out there to add more value.